Welcome to the Traveling Pogma YouTube channel. In November of 2023, I went on an amazing African safari with my husband, daughter, and son-in-law. This video will tell you everything we liked, everything we didn't like about our safari vehicle, and what we learned after spending a week in it. We had a 9-seater hatch-top Toyota Land Cruiser, which is really a modified Land Cruiser 4x4 with a pop-up roof. It was very comfortable for the four of us. We had plenty of room. However, we did see some of the same vehicle with 9 people in it. That's a driver and 8 passengers. So you have the driver and the passenger in the front row. Then you have 2 rows of 2. And the back row has 3 seats, with the middle being kind of like a jump seat. They looked pretty cramped. Keep in mind, you also have to travel with all your luggage from hotel to hotel. There was plenty of room for our backpacks at our seats. We all had a seat pocket to store some of our smaller things, such as our cell phones, cameras, snacks, and of course our binoculars. The vehicle also had a water bottle holder, which was nice. We were originally concerned about sun exposure, but it really wasn't an issue as we were inside the vehicle pretty much all day. We loved the hatch top as it allowed us to lift the roof up so we could see better and take some amazing pictures and videos. We did occasionally ride around with the top open, as it was easier to hear sounds, pick up smells easier, and of course, take better pictures. Sometimes, if it was raining or we were driving too fast, we'd close the roof to keep the rain and dust out. We usually stopped and turned the engine off when we wanted to take some good pictures and videos. We also had our own windows so we could open and close them as we wished, as they were usually pretty muddy to take pictures through. The vehicle did have air conditioning, but we didn't run it as we usually had the windows open. Plus, if it was raining, the humidity often fogged up the windows. The animals totally ignored the Land Cruiser. They apparently are accustomed to their presence, and we were never perceived as a threat. We could get right up close to so many animals, including lions with their baby cubs, giraffes, elephants, leopards, zebras. I'm not sure if I'd like an open-air safari though. I felt way safer with the vehicle walls and windows that we could easily close. And we didn't have to worry about rain coming in on us. And believe me, it rained crazy hard several times. We booked the safari with EXG Safaris, and I do have a video with the co-founder and CEO and their U.S. Business Development Manager on this YouTube channel, if you'd like to go check that out. If EXG Safaris has a vehicle breakdown or they get a flat tire, they do have a network of mechanics that ride around in mobile repair vehicles and take care of any of those problems. And I'm actually really surprised that we didn't get a flat, as we rode over so many bumpy roads and very fast. I actually did enjoy riding through the muddy roads and watching our driver professionally navigate through fast flowing streams very successfully. We had an awesome driver guide named Bobby. He was very knowledgeable. I guess to be a safari driver, it is a coveted job in Africa. We met a gardener in Arusha whose goal is to be a safari driver. Bobby's responsible for keeping the vehicle clean, making sure we had enough bottled water, organizing our lunch, including setting up an amazing picnic lunch that we had in the bush. The picnic lunch that you see on your screen is from our first day on safari. Bobby took out this amazing lunch and then let us know the person in charge of that rest stop advised him that they had just spotted a lion down the road. Even though it was Bobby's responsibility to keep us safe, you can bet we also kept our eyes open for this lion while enjoying this delicious meal and amazing view.
So bathroom attendant told us he just saw a lion, and so we're running towards it. No, we're staying where we are and waiting for instructions here. It's the kind of thing we'd like to see, but we don't necessarily want to run towards the lion.
Bobby always seemed to know where to go without GPS or maps. There were some signs around, but not a whole lot. It was pretty impressive. There always seemed to be other safari vehicles nearby, and several times Bobby communicated with other drivers when we were looking for something in particular, such as the leopard and the black rhino. And by the way, we did see the big 5, which is the lion, leopard, rhino, elephant, and buffalo. In the safari vehicle, there were outlets and USB ports to charge all of our devices. but the Wi-Fi was pretty spotty and not really too reliable. Definitely not the fault of the vehicle, as we were in pretty remote locations in the middle of the Serengeti. We did find it helpful that my daughter kept a running list of all the animals we saw and in which park we saw them. She kept them on a note on her phone. Bobby did get a guidebook that's titled The Tourist Travel and Field Guide of the Serengeti National Park. We referred to it a lot. Bobby would point out the animals as we saw them, and if we wanted to learn a little bit more, we could read about them in the book. Halfway through the trip, we stopped for a bathroom break, and there was a gift shop there. So we went in and we bought a copy of the same book that Bobby had, so we now have our own copy. I would definitely recommend you buy the book or a book similar to it before you go on the safari, and if you want, study up on some of the animals and birds ahead of time. Bobby was very good at spotting animals we would have never seen. His favorite animal is the cheetah. One time he stopped the safari vehicle and told us to look as a cheetah was ready to take down a gazelle. We were very impressed that he could see it. It was one of our highlights. We also stayed alert to help spot animals as Bobby was also navigating some challenging roads at times. A few complaints about the Land Cruiser. It was very difficult to hear, especially if you were sitting in the back row. The co-founder and CEO Sampson did let us know that they were looking into getting headsets so everyone can hear the driver when he's talking. We did spend quite a bit of time in the vehicle. One day was like 10 hours. This is not a complaint, just an observation that there's no bathrooms in the vehicles and you cannot get out of the vehicles. So you're really at the mercy of the driver to take bathroom breaks. There were a few times we didn't stop for like 3 or 4 hours at a stretch. Most of the restrooms we stopped at were very clean and very nice. There was one exception. We were in the middle of the Serengeti. It had been hours since we had stopped, and we did make a stop at an old camp near the river that was closed with an outhouse that we had found open. It was fine, as we did enjoy watching the hippos in the river and chatting with another group of fellow travelers.
Stopped for a bathroom break. Not far from where we saw hippos and lions.
Bobby did ask us not to stand on his seats with our shoes, as our shoes were often muddy. You don't always have a lot of time to get up and get that awesome picture, but if you have step-in shoes that come off easily, I would definitely recommend that. It was nice to be able to just slip them off, hop on the seat, and then slip them back on when you finished getting that great picture. Be sure you bring a phone backup charger in case your USB port does not work. You don't want your phone to die, as I guarantee you will be taking many pictures and videos. If you have that SLR camera that has a telephoto lens, be sure to bring it for those long distance shots. I did bring a bug zapper just in case we saw any mosquitoes. Bugs for some reason really love me, so I was concerned about getting bit by mosquitoes that carried malaria. Thank goodness we hardly saw any insects. I only saw one mosquito. The only time I actually used the bug zapper was when we were around a bunch of giraffes. Apparently the giraffes attract flies. So I did use the bug zapper in the vehicle to kill a good probably 10-15 flies. And then I did leave the bug zapper for Bobby so he can use them on future safaris. My daughter and I did buy a Go Girl female urination funnel just in case we needed to pee quickly. Thank goodness we never needed to use it, but we were ready just in case. If you have any medical conditions that might make it difficult to travel for so many long days, make sure you take that into consideration. For example, those with back issues might not be very comfortable. There were a lot of bumpy rides. We did have a seat cushion on our seats that did help to make it more comfortable. I would recommend you bring some Imodium and or Pepto-Bismol just in case. Some of the people in our group did have some stomach issues. It could have been the malaria medication we were taking or possibly the food. We're really not sure. Be sure to bring some money to tip your driver. They work long days and are away from their families for weeks at a time. The recommended gratuity is $10 to $12 per person per day for the driver/guide. But we felt $100 a day for the 4 of us was more reasonable for all Bobby did for us. Our driver, our safari, and EXG safaris definitely helped make this trip as amazing as it was. I would highly recommend it at least once in your life.